Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Amit Shrestha, and I'm a lead engineer at Pacific AI. Today, I'm excited to introduce you to your AI Control Tower, a platform designed to automate risk assessment, enforce AI policies, and manage vendor governance in a consistent, scalable, and regulator-ready way. In the healthcare domain, especially, AI systems cannot be left unmanaged. They require continuous oversight, documentation, risk evaluation, and audit-ready evidence. Our control tower brings these capabilities together in one integrated governance platform. Here is what we will cover today. First, we will discuss why healthcare needs AI governance and what challenges organizations face when adopting AI. Then we will see how Pacific AI solves these challenges with an end-to-end governance framework. Next, we will introduce the key user roles and responsibilities, followed by a walkthrough of the system-level governance workflow. We will dive into documentation, try compliant model cards, and the risk registry. After that, we will see the testing and evaluation capabilities, including comparison across multiple models. Finally, we will cover vendor governance and policy management workflows. Healthcare is one of the most regulated industries, and AI has a direct impact on clinical decisions and patient safety. Regulators such as CHI, FDA, NIST, and ISO require organizations to maintain traceability, robust testing, explainability, and continuous oversight. AI systems are also prone to bias, drift, hallucinations, and safety failures, which can have serious consequences. Current governance methods are manual, slow, inconsistent, and difficult to scale. And workflows are fragmented across teams, vendors, and policy documents. There is also a growing need for fairness, transparency, and explainability. And these risks evolve over time, meaning continuous monitoring is not optional, it is essential. Pacific AI addresses all of this with a full end-to-end governance solution. We provide system registration, documentation, and lifecycle stage tracking. We automatically generate CHI compliant model cards. We enable testing and evaluation at scale through pre-built and custom test suites with continuous execution and version comparison. AI performs automated risk analysis, generating architecture details, impact assessments, and a risk registry, and supports mitigation workflows for both compliance and risk managers. We also support policy creation workflows and vendor governance with intake, risk scoring, and evidence tracking. To achieve enterprise-level governance, we define several dedicated roles. The governance officer is the primary owner of AI governance across the organization. The compliance officer handles risk classification, determines lifecycle stages, and monitors continuous assurance. The risk manager is responsible for creating and maintaining the AI system record. The vendor manager manages third-party vendor lifecycle, risk scoring, and evidence collection. The policy manager drafts and maintains AI policies. Developers run the testing and evaluation workflows. Admins configure platform-wide settings, and members have basic visibility into organizational information. Each role has dedicated permissions and dashboards, ensuring separations of duties and auditability. This slide shows a high-level flow of how these roles interact. Risk managers register systems and upload documents and evidence for the system. Developers test and evaluate models. Compliance officers assess risk and monitor assurance. Governance officers approve policies and oversee the entire process. Vendor manager registers vendors along with required documents, contracts. All of these workflows integrate into a single governance lifecycle. Before we look at the system creation workflow, let me explain why this is important. In healthcare, every AI system must have a complete traceable record, including its purpose, data sources, risks, and responsibility members. Regulators like CHI and FDA expect organizations to maintain this documentation as part of the governance and audit requirements. Today, most organizations track these informations manually in spreadsheets or scattered documents. This leads to missing metadata, poor version control, and gaps that become painful during audits. With Pacific AI, we solve this by centralizing the entire record in one place. The risk manager simply uploads documents, enters key details, and the platform automatically generates a chai compliant model card. This ensures every system starts with proper documentation and remains audit ready throughout its life cycle. Now, let's look at how the risk manager creates and documents a system inside the platform. In this video, you will see the risk manager creating a new AI system. To help you follow along, each demo video displays the user's role. For instance, in this video, the user is the risk manager and the role is shown in the bottom left corner and also in the title of the slide. This risk manager creates a system by providing the system name, version, description, and the keywords. These are the basic metadata required. As soon as the risk manager clicks on save, the risk manager is navigated to the system document. Here, the risk manager can upload all kind of related documents such as architecture document, release processes, QA processes, API documentations, etc. Once the documents are uploaded, the risk manager can go to the team space where team members such as compliance officer, developers can be added to the system. One more thing, all of the documents uploaded in the document space earlier, all of them are version. So any new changes, any new type of documents can be versioned and properly uploaded. Now, here in the model card section, as you can see, none of the fields are filled up yet. And when Risk Manager clicks on generate, what it does is it analyzes all of the documents that was uploaded in the document space. And based on the information from the documents, the model card is automatically populated. All of the fields are populated here. As you can notice, the key metric section is still empty because we haven't ran any tests yet, which we will get to later. As you can also see, all of the fields that is in the model card can also be manually reviewed and edited if needed. Testing and evaluating AI models is essential for ensuring safety, reliability, fairness, and clinical usefulness. Healthcare organizations are now required to demonstrate that models are tested not just once, but continuously, especially as new data or model versions are deployed. The challenge today is that testing is inconsistent. Some teams run manual spot checks, others use ad hoc datasets, and most do not track changes across versions. This leads to undetected regressions, new biases, or drops in performance. Pacific AI solves this by offering pre-built and customizable test suites covering metrics across usefulness, safety, reliability, and fairness. Developers can run evaluations on any model or endpoint and compare results across test runs and versions. This brings scientific rigor, consistency, and traceability to model evaluation and makes it easy to identify improvements or degradations over time. Let me show you how testing and comparison work in the platform. Next, we move to the developer role. Here, the developer creates one or multiple test suites, selecting metrics from usefulness and efficacy, safety and reliability, and fairness and equity. Each metrics have multiple test categories and subcategories that the developer can select from. Uh, in case there's a need to create a custom dataset, that is also possible. Here, as soon as the test suite is created, the developer can click on evaluate and provide a name to the test run and run the evaluations. Since it will take some time, we already have some test run ready. As you can see, each of the test runs can be selected and each of the scores for each categories and subcategories can be seen here. Along with this, developers can select across multiple test runs or test suites and compare the results. So here, as you can see, the developer is selecting two test runs and click on compare. Sorry, three test runs and clicking on compare. This will give you the comparison across different test runs. The different test runs could be different LLM endpoints or the same one with a different version. You can also see the leaderboard here where you can see the performance of each of the LLM endpoints across different metrics. Here in datasets, in case you need a custom dataset that you want to test on, you can upload it from here. You can select the metrics, you can select the category and subcategory, or you can provide custom ones, and that can be seen in the test suites, and you can run the test with your custom datasets as well.
AI risk assessment is one of the most labor intensive parts of the governance. Traditionally, compliance officers must manually review architecture documents, workflow diagrams, user interactions, and clinical impact scenarios just to classify the system's risk. This process can take weeks and often results in inconsistent decisions, especially when documentation is incomplete or unclear. In Pacific AI, we automate much of this work. The platform analyzes all uploaded documents, extract architecture elements, and automatically generate impact assessments for selected roles. It builds a full risk registry and summarizes the potential harms and mitigations. This gives compliance officers a structured assessment instantly instead of manually reading through large documents. Now, let's walk through the automated system risk assessment workflow.
The officer initiates the risk assessment workflow. The platform analyzes the uploaded documents, extract architecture details, and the details can be reviewed manually and can be edited if needed. Once all of the edits are done and saved, the compliance officer can continue to the impact assessment step. Here, the compliance officer can select from the predefined export roles or can also provide a custom role. Once that is selected, the platform generates the impact based on the roles that was selected earlier, and all of the impacts, the positive and the negative impacts, are listed here. And these can also be manually reviewed, edited, or deleted in case there is some wrong impact generated or something that compliance officer does not approve of. In the third step, we have the risk registry. Here, you can select across different AI principles and generate the risk based on those AI principles. Here, we are generating the risk for accountability, for fairness, and for privacy. So, as you can see, there are three risks, and you can also see the risk label. Two of them are unacceptable, and one is high. Let's just click on next here. And here you can see the overall risk and the overall summary of the impact assessment and the risk registry. Based on this, the compliance officer can set the lifecycle stage and the risk label for the systems, and also communicate to the risk managers to provide the required mitigation measures. This slide shows a screenshot of the generated CHAI compliant model card. All the required sections are included, from system descriptions, intended use, to safety considerations, evaluation results, risk mitigations, and governance responsibilities. So, in our earlier slide, the key metric section was empty, but once the tests were ran, so once the developer is satisfied with the test results, the model card can be regenerated again, which will fill up the key metric section and provide informations on each of the metrics, and also what the goal of the metric is, what was the result, what does that result interpret, and what kind of test was carried out. These model cards can be exported as PDFs for regulators, auditors, or internal reviews, or can be saved to the document sections for the future audits.
As organizations scale AI adoption, they need clear internal policies, guidelines for data use, risk thresholds, approval processes, monitoring requirements, and vendor expectations. Right now, many organizations manage policies through shared folders or PDFs. Emailed between teams. There is no single source of truth, no version control, and no transparent review and approval workflow. Pacific AI brings all of this into one structured process. Policy managers can draft new policies, attach documents, create versions, and send them for review. The governance officer has a clear, trackable workflow for approval. This ensures that policies remain current, authoritative, and auditable, and that the entire organization operates under consistent rules. Let's take a look at how policy creation workflow works.
In this video, the policy manager creates a new AI policy. They enter the policy details. So they create a policy by entering the policy name, category, and specify if it's a public or a private policy. Uh, the policy manager can add a version, upload the related documents, upload it. So as soon as the document is uploaded, it will be set as a draft. Then it can be sent to the governance officer for review. You can see PHI and data privacy policy here has a rejected draft. So you can create a new version, upload the modified or the corrected version, and uh, add it. Then can be sent to the governance officer for further review.
Policy review is more than simply approving a document. It establishes organizational standards, regulatory alignment, and accountability. Without a structured review workflow, organizations risk outdated policies, on track changes, or inconsistent enforcement. Pacific AI ensures that every policy goes through a standardized review cycle. Governance officers can evaluate submissions, add comments, approve or reject versions, and track the complete history. This provides full transparency and ensures policies are enforced across the organization. Now, let's see how the review process works from the governance officer's perspective.
Here, the governance officer receives the submitted policy. They can open the document, review the content, evaluate compliance, and either approve or reject it. Approved policies are published and become active across the organization, and all the actions are logged for audits.
Vendor governance is one of the most overlooked but critical areas of AI insight. Any organization using AI components, APIs, datasets, or third party models must verify that vendors follow equivalent safety, fairness, reliability, and security practices. Regulators increasingly expect the healthcare institutions review vendor documentation, ensure vendor provide safety and indemnification clauses, validate that vendors follow similar AI governance standards, track contracts, evidence, and risk assessments. The problem is that procurement teams and vendor managers typically rely on long questionnaires, emails, and PDF checklists, a slow, consistent, and manual process. Pacific AI takes a very different approach. Instead of forcing vendors or procurement managers to manually answer dozens of questions, we allow them to simply upload whatever documents they have. The platform automatically analyzes these documents, extract relevant information, answer the risk questionnaires, and generates a risk score. Vendor managers then validate the answers and finalize the vendor's risk posture. This dramatically reduces the time and effort required for vendor risk assessments and ensures a higher level of consistency. Now, let's see how vendor management and vendor risk assessment work in practice.
Now we look at vendor governance. The vendor manager creates a vendor profile, completes the intake form, and uploads contracts and evidence. Here you can see the list of already created vendors. You can see all of the basic information filled up. You can also see the contracts uploaded for that specific vendor. You can also add the internal owners and associated systems. Once the vendor is created, vendor manager can go to the risk page and create an assessment. So the vendor manager can select from different type of questionnaires based on the policy and based on the type of vendor. Once the questionnaire is selected or assigned, the vendor manager can click on the Run AI button that will automatically answer all of the questionnaires based on the documents uploaded in the vendor contract section earlier. As you can see, all of the questionnaires are already answered and each of them have a specific score. The vendor manager can manually review them and modify them, or if there are no changes required, the vendor manager can simply just confirm them. Now you can see when you click on the modify button, you will see the options to select from. And as soon as that is done, the answer will be changed for that specific questions. Here, the vendor manager will confirm all of the questionnaires so that we can move on to the next step. Once the analytics is clicked, you can see the score for that specific vendor. And based on the score, based on the assessment, vendor manager can create a set of controls to mitigate risk if there are any, or set the risk level to low and set the vendor as active in the vendor's profile. This streamline diagram depicts how risk manager, developers, compliance officers, and governance officer collaborate during the entire life cycle. Each lane represents responsibilities, ensuring clear ownership and compliance with regulatory expectations. Uh, just like for the system workflow, here is the swimlane diagram for vendor and policy workflows. Uh, Vendor managers handle vendor intake and risk scoring. Policy managers create policy drafts. Governance officers review and approve. Both workflows integrate into the larger governance ecosystem with full audit trails. This platform automates all the policy and safety controls that an enterprise needs in one place. That concludes our demonstration. Thank you for your time and attention.